Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. This is For the Grown Folks Podcast. You got your host, Dez, aka Mr. 44 in this bitch with ranch, nigga. Sweet sour.
Big sandwiches, nigga.
Yeah, man, I'm in this thing, man. On the back end, you got my dog.
Yes, sir. One more time, one more game. Got your boy Uncle Mike in the building. Yes, indeed.
Bow, bow, bow. Mr. Bow, bow, bow.
Hey.
Word to
That's your line. Yeah, that's your line. Hey, this shit.
I know. Yeah, though, man. Yeah, another episode, another visual. I'm liking the visuals, bro. I like it. I like that the people get to actually see our reactions and really see us, and we'll be cutting up, like, you know, actually hearing
Everything's so much fun.
Yeah, the facial expressions. Like, I'm looking at the shit. Like, I actually went the last episode we did with the ladies level up, and shout out to Fanny and shout out to Lydia. They really turned that thing up, man. Y'all need to go check that out. But I really looked at it, bro, and it's the times like I listen to the audio, and I also look at the visual, and it's like, damn, like you actually seeing our facial expressions.
Hey, boy. Lunches on the ass.
Yeah, like
lunches on the
that shit hit different, bro. Like it's way more funnier because you can actually see it. You like actually cut it, like that shit was crazy for. So I'm really digging the visuals, man, and very proud of where we came, like where we started and where we came.
For real. Hey, bro, it's been a journey, man.
It really has.
It's been a journey, bro. Like, and life really be happening, bro, but we still be pushing through, man.
Still be pushing through.
Because they were supposed to stop podcasting like a little while ago, but
nigga definitely could have quit. But
we're like, fuck all that. You got too much to say.
I definitely got too much to say. So I be needing to be
out here going platinum every week, man. You can't stop. Won't stop. Hey, check the numbers today, though, man. 16 countries. So we got to give it up for that, man. 16 countries, G. 16 countries. And that's not including us. It's with America is 17. So, man, peace. Hey, boy. If you ain't never seen Do the Right Thing, you need to go check that out.
Yeah.
Shout out Spike Lee.
Shout out to Spike Lee, man. And RP Radio right here, bro.
Man, yeah, RP Bill Nunn, man. He did pass.
Yeah, but what we got for the people this week, Mike? What we talking?
Man, this episode, man, we gonna talk about a little manipulation, both sides of it, if you will, bro. You feel it? Because everybody wants
that word sounds stank, man.
Man, hey, the game greasy though.
It really is. It's cold.
You feel me? Like, and the thing about it is, with people, you know, kind of, I guess, don't really pay attention to like they should. They done been on both sides of their fence, whether they manipulated somebody and whether they've been manipulated. And if you heard that and you said, well, I've never manipulated anyone, then you must be Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Because people will certainly do some shit or have done some shit in the past to get to where they're trying to go or get something that they want out of somebody. You feel me? So
some people, they do it knowingly, and then some others, it can kind of go over, like it's not clicking, like, damn, I just manipulated this person.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna mention the podcast name, but I kind of got filled in on the little story, a little scenario that would happen, you know, with a popular podcast. And
nah, bitch, spill that tea, bitch.
Nah, bitch. Folk be paying attention, bitch. Folk paying attention to the timeline, bitch. Nah, for real, like I never listened to it though, man. I know they had the big Spotify deal, and then they just, when they had like another deal or something like that, and basically cut his partners out of the deal. And I know his partners had been rocking that show with him.
Joe Budden? You talking about Joe Budden?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Budden, he a snake nigga though, bro.
Yeah, I was like,
any nigga
but,
like me, man. Like, what
but that's a form of it though. You feel me? Like you go on your platform and you talk about how you need ownership and how you're supposed to help the people out and this, that, and the third. And then when they turn around and ask you, for something that they partially helped build, because like I said, I never really watched the show like that. I'm not really, I said I never really checked it out. But you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people do. And what I've seen for like the past few years is those three men in the room with each other. So now all of a sudden you in a room by yourself talking about you fired and you this and you that. I feel like that's a little whack. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a quick little form of, because now all of a sudden people not allowed to read the contracts, people not allowed to see where their status is as far as doing other content. You know what I'm saying? Cause like them boys say, I want my own bag too. You feel me? You going out to go get yours. I want my own too. So let's see if everything's straight before we take that next step. He was like, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do it in violent fashions too. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Just to get what they want. So, but
I didn't know that. I really did.
I literally just got feared today, bro. Yeah.
I guess because I wasn't a real big Joe Budden fan, but I mean Joe Budden giving those type of vibes though, son. Like he giving those type of vibes, like he'll snake his right hand, like on some real shit. Like,
man, but the crazy.
Sometimes you can get those vibes from people, like you know them types. You know, sometimes they hide it good, but some people they just let that shit show. Like I know you will snake me, nigga.
I think how you treat your friends speaks a lot about your personal character.
Shit,
you feel me? And the way you treat the people, especially when you achieve something and you achieve something on a higher level, you feel me? Because like when it comes to podcasting, like, he up there, bro. Yeah. You feel me? As far as the standard, as far as pay, deals, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He up there. So to achieve that level of success, and then at the same time, I'm not gonna say piss it all the way, because he's always gonna have a fan base that's gonna want to listen to him. But to kind of throw the vibe of his show off, because he's feeling himself like, yeah.
Like people don't understand, like with podcasting, bro, especially when you're in a group, like everybody brings something to the table, son. Like you can sit up here and think you the hottest thing on that bitch, but everybody brings something to the table.
Everybody brings something different to the table, and like
it's you gonna be able to sense it. You're gonna be able to do it in the recordings and everything. It's gonna be different.
Real. And it's hard. It's hard to record by yourself.
Oh, nigga, we are.
It's hard to record by yourself,
nigga.
Man.
We are witnesses to that shit.
Man, it's hard to record by yourself, because even like you took a shot at it, I took a shot at it, and then I kind of realized, I was like, bro, my voice monotone as hell. Like I can't do this shit for 20 minutes straight.
That shit sucks.
I'm like, this shit boring as hell. I don't even want to listen to this shit, man. Where we gonna get my nigga, bro?
Oh man,
I ain't gonna get my fucking partner, bro. We gonna do this together.
Nah, for real though, bro. But when you hear manipulation, bro, like what comes to mind?
Man, first thing, bro, that I think about, and I think this is something that, a lot of people, not male, not female, but just people in general, bro, people withholding something to get something. You feel me? Like, I'm not gonna pay XYZ if you don't do XYZ, or I ain't gonna give you no ass if you don't buy me XYZ. You feel me? Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind. A strong second is gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? People, trying to make you feel like you're crazy and shit or whatever, or make you feel like your feelings not valid, or what you seeing or what you experiencing like you tripping. And another one, probably the last one for me, probably passive aggressive behavior. You feel me? Because it shows that you can't communicate. And on top of you not being able to communicate, you're going to do something to get attention besides speak. You feel me? People have a tendency to want to get on your ass and cuss you out and get on your case and all of that. But when it's time to sit down and actually communicate like adults, they don't do it. So I'm going to slam doors, stomp my feet, just do little shit to let you know that I'm pissed off. But I'm not going to tell you that, and I'm not going to express that. You feel me? So those are just a few forms in my opinion, G. But I know you got one because we talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Like when I hear that word, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it, raw and gutter. So
For real.
scum.
Shiesty seems to be.
I think about a scum ass dumpster juice ass nigga. Like
that's what it used to be.
For real, like
that's what it used to be. Like
when, and one thing I do, like when I hear that word, I feel like people will play on people insecurities, shit like that.
Mind control.
Yeah, mind control.
Mind control. Yep. I know your triggers. I know your triggers. So I know what pisses you off.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use it again.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. I know you hate that shit. So I'm gonna piss you the fuck off just because I can, and I know I can get under your skin.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's a form of manipulation. And on top of that too, man, people, like as far as conversation go, you ever been in a situation where you have been talking to somebody, or you might have been in a disagreement, or you might have been in an argument, whatever it is, and you talking to somebody, and then they turn around and say something completely different from what you just said. That's a form of it too. That's clearly ignoring what I said and trying to draw your own conclusions based off what you think I said, and based off not what you just heard. You feel me? Like I know you'd have been in that shit because shit, we all have. We men, bro.
Real deal will try to make you seem like you crazy.
But and I'm like
I've had a situation where that shit happened, and then I'm going back. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm second guessing myself. When you start second guessing yourself, like, wait a minute, did I say that?
That's how you know somebody got your ass.
Yeah, somebody fucked like you fucking.
Somebody got your ass.
What ghetto boy said? Mind playing tricks on me.
Mind playing tricks on me. Because then you be sitting there thinking to yourself, like, man, did I really do something wrong?
Yeah.
It's like, maybe. And then you got to snap yourself out of it because, of course, reflection is going to come first because you probably did. But if you for sure, like didn't do nothing, if you for sure covered all your bases and everything, gravy, everything straight, at the end of the day, G, that shouldn't even exist, bro. Like, you really got to take a pause sometimes and just be like, hey, man, look, I never said that. I didn't do that. And sometimes you got to dead the conversation because it's like, look, that's not what I said, and this is what you said. So, boom, we're going to go ahead and put a bookmark right there. And then we're going to come and revisit this. Because as far as communication goes and just being effective at it, like, it has to be accurate, too. So if we talking lies and hypotheticals, we ain't getting nowhere because that shit don't matter. Right. You feel me? That shit is not concrete. It ain't got no substance. You feel me? It's only gonna make shit worse. So, man, at the end of the day, that
your credibility sucks.
Huh?
I said credibility sucks.
Man, like your credibility trash. Like it's like, look, bro, nigga ain't say that. Stop putting words in my mouth. Like putting words in your mouth is putting words in somebody's mouth.
Yeah, it's not like if you can get somebody to really second guess themselves, like you pretty fucked up, bro.
Good at that, though. Motherfuckers are good at that. You feel me? Like, and just even, I guess you would say, when you kind of look back at, like, when you first started being romantically involved with the ladies and shit, bro. It's like, man, you got to look at when you get older and how you start lying about shit.
I ain't gonna lie, nigga. That's something I've been working on. I ain't gonna lie. I used to lie like a motherfucker. Like it was hard to tell place.
Boy, gotta teach shorty all the game, bro. Like all you, like your dog, like you can't hold her hand, but you can damn sure teach her some shit. Cause it's like, look, niggas lie, bro. and the first one that they really hear is, if you love me, you'll do X, Y, Z. You feel me? And they feel like they gotta do X, Y, Z because they want to feel that love. They want to feel that acceptance. It's like, man, that nigga don't mean you no good. He don't want shit.
Man, that's one thing I am. I'm scared to have a little girl. Shit.
Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it.
Man,
I ain't gonna lie, I was scared for too.
Like you said, game up, but still, like shit. That's when you start thinking about your karma and shit. Like, damn, that shit probably
not for real. Not for real, because whatever misses you may get passed down. So you have to, you kind of got to accept. Okay, you got to take responsibility for the shit that you did too, because it's only a left seat, right seat. So we only passing the baton to the people under us. You know, now what condition that baton is passed in depends on, you know, the damage that's been done before. I mean, personally, I think it's been an okay job, you know, but at the same time, the world can change. You feel me? Society looking completely different. So you kind of gotta, I guess you would say, play a different game. But man, what's like, think about, I guess you would say, think about a time from back in the G, bro, where you probably felt like you was personally manipulated on some shit. And how that shit made you feel. Because I know, like, as brothers, we don't talk about, as men, we don't talk about that shit often. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get manipulated, somebody found a weak spot. Somebody found a weak point. You feel me? So I know mine, but we gonna start with yours first, though.
I mean, I definitely don't want to go into details, but yeah, the nigga definitely been manipulated.
Yeah.
I think it was when my grandma had died. You know, he was in a vulnerable spot. Like, you know, I lost somebody that, you know, I love dearly. And I had somebody that I was with. It kind of played on that. Like, I knew they didn't really mean me no good, but they was there for me when my grandma died. They was there for me, so they made it their mission to, you know, make it seem like I owed them. Like, you know, I was there for you. Like, that's
right. Because it's like, I've been here for you. I've been supporting you. So it's like, you know, you need to stay consistent on that path that we just started, you know what I mean? But shit, like, that's a trauma bond from the jump.
Yeah. It was,
like,
I know we weren't supposed to be together, but
I don't think when you meet people in situations of distress like that, it ends up well anyway. You feel me? Because the chemistry is out of grief. You know what I'm saying? It's not organic. You feel me? I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean, everybody could look at it differently. But
nah, I get what you're saying, bro. Like, I don't think that that's organic. Like, you build something off of pain. You know. So,
yeah.
You know, and somebody got attached. You know, like, if I'm in a vulnerable spot and I'm just finding somebody that I can just attach to real quick, like, use that person, you know, and then when I start to heal, I'm good. Now I'm just realizing, like, we really ain't got shit to talk about. We really got shit.
Yeah, we ain't really hitting no shit. Wait, you think it's a thin line between being manipulated and just being stupid? Or does it go hand in hand?
Regardless, son, it's no. I don't. If you gullible, you gullible. I mean, that's just like fucking with the weak, you know, the weak dudes in school that, you know, weren't gonna crack and shit. Regardless if they didn't crack, they didn't want to fight. It's still fucked up. Regardless.
Yeah. Cause you picking on somebody who ain't trying to they ain't trying to give you no smoke.
Yeah,
they ain't trying to give you the most smoke.
Yeah, that's why when you said, I'm like, regardless if they gullible, they stupid, whatever. If you know that and you still on that bullshit, and you still fucked up regardless.
Right.
Like, it's like a lot of people got to go back to their morals. Like, that's what we really got to start going back to. Like, we got some type of code that we live by, some type of morals, you know. I know we ain't perfect, but damn, we can strive to be, you know, somewhat of a good human being, bro. Like, you know, a lot of people do that shit. Like, they'll find somebody that's weak and they know they weak and they take advantage of that shit. Like you say, like, you know they go, okay, yeah.
You exploit shit.
I'm gonna play with you.
And on the highest of keys, bro, just looking at it, you know, from the workplace perspective, bro, niggas be preying on these little girls. Like, niggas be hogged out, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, think about it. Talking about teenage girls, about 14, 15, 16, etc. And then you talking about a nigga that's coming through 25 plus, shooting his shot, you know what I'm saying? That's already coming through. You trying to shoot, you know what I'm saying, do his little manipulation game. or whatever. Because like you think about it, bro, when we was in high school, our competition wasn't our peers. It was old niggas.
And we was cool with it. Like
it was normal to us, like, damn. Like shit, that nigga picking you up in the Crown Vic after school. You 14.
Like you like,
I can't even get a driver's license yet. I ain't even old enough. You gotta just eat that.
I can't compete with this shit. Like,
not that young. Nah. You know what I'm saying? And then you get of that age, and it's like, bro, what the fuck were they doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what y'all was on? Like, bro, because it's weird, bro. You feel me? Like you can take somebody and completely mold them at that age. Especially because they're so impressionable. So if they're impressionable and you come as everything that they, that they like, because teens are shallow. Yeah. They ain't looking at all that depth and shit. They looking at what's on the surface. So if you coming through with everything they like, they gonna hear you and they gonna listen. Right. You feel me? But they gonna go ahead and catch you slipping.
That remind me of that little series, The Get Down. The Get Down. Man, it was one little lady that was, what her name was, but she was basically like a kingpin, queen pin, and she had a little dude that she kind of adopted when he was little, and she basically, she abused the nigga. She kept him around, molded him, and all that, like that type of shit. You feel me? Like took advantage because he didn't have a home. That manipulation right there. He didn't have a home. He didn't have a family that cared about him, so he just looking for love. You show the slightest sign of love. I'm interested in you. I care about you. Care about your well-being. They get attached, and then you start to do your little fucked up shit.
Man, and it's like even with this topic, bro. Like even though we just kind of gonna touch the surface of it today, because we're not gonna, what I'm saying, we never really get in full super detail. But think about all the different ways that people manipulate folks. You know what I'm saying? That's one right there that people don't talk about. How that shapes people's futures. You feel me? I just watched Antoine Fisher the other day. You know what I'm saying? And that part at the end where he, not at the end, but kind of like close to the end, but he addressed his foster mother and Shorty that was, touching him when he was younger. You feel me? That's a form of it, because it's like, especially if the person's older and you're a kid, because you want to make that adult happy. You feel me? You don't want to piss them off, or you want to get their acceptance, so you do it. And that's how a lot of young children get manipulated. They get groomed or whatever. But sometimes, bro, and I just think personally in my case, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I was just being a little slow. You feel me?
So do you?
I think I was just being a little slow.
You've been manipulated before?
Of course.
Do you care to elaborate?
Of course. Yeah. No, I was just saying, I know first times you for sure was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, my first, my first real situation. That motherfucker could told me the sky was blue. That bitch would have been pink, and I'll be like, yeah, that bitch blue. You feel me? Because it was just like anything that she said, and that's, like I said, part of it is on me. Because I had this bad habit. Now I had this bad habit of trying to see the good in people. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's what goes back to what I said, bro. Morals, like you generally got people like you say, trying to find the good in people.
Right.
You got people that see that, like, okay, regardless of what I do, they're still gonna be here. They still gonna see the good in you. Like, they'll overlook it. And it's like, knowing that you ain't shit, you need to put yourself together, whatever you gotta do to fix yourself, and you still right out with this person. Like, it's a lot of people like that, bro. Like, you can't blame it on yourself. Like, some people, you gotta hold people accountable. Like, right, fucked up regardless, son, because somebody's just a genuinely nice person, that's a good person, that got a good heart, and you see that, you take advantage of that. Now they just gotta take that L and say, "Oh yeah, I was just being gullible, I was stupid." Nah, bro, people should have that pure heart where they don't have to be on edge. Like, they don't have to look at somebody like, "Oh, I gotta watch your ass." Like, nah, it shouldn't have to be like that. Like, we shouldn't have to be guarded like that, bro. It's fucked up. That's
trauma.
Right. It's fucked
That's
up.
trauma like a
We
motherfucker.
gotta be like that nowadays. Like you
Yeah.
can't put it past nobody. Like you gotta be guarded. You gotta be careful. Like it should be that way.
I agree, bro. Cause it's more to it than people just cheating on you now.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like that used to be the pinnacle of shit you could do to me. And as fucked up as that is, that ain't even the worst somebody can do to you, bro. You ever saw that show Imposters?
No.
Man, it's a show. Long story short, bro. This group of like scammers, they get these rich men to fall in love with them or whatever, and it's all like a group, so they all in on it, and they drain them for all their money. So like their life savings, retirement, 401k, stocks, cars, mortgages, they take it all. Like they leave you with nothing. You feel me? But the thing is, the way they do it is they get this one woman to approach the person, the man, and meet him, fall in love with him, you know what I'm saying, and be with him for a minute. They get married, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, she got access to all the codes, all of that stuff, and she clean you out dry. She just disappear like a thief in the night. Feel me? Somebody got to get in your head for you to open up like that. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like opening up anymore, because it allows you to be, because you have to be vulnerable for it to happen. Yeah.
That's scary, G. That's why it shouldn't be that way. I should be able to open up. I should be vulnerable when I want to and not be scared like this motherfucker might just fuck over me, like on purpose. Right. Not on some I messed up, I'm sorry. Not almost like purposely, like they came in it with, ill intentions. Like knowing that they was gonna fuck over me. Right. You have to be that way. I shouldn't have to be guarded. So, for everybody out there, bro, saying, you might have had a situation like that. You feel like, I was just being gullible, I was stupid. No, well, nothing that you did wrong. The other person was fucked up. They need to be held accountable. They really knowing that you was a good-hearted person. That's how a lot of people turn cold-hearted anyway. Yeah. That's how a lot of people turn cold-hearted. It's a cycle. It's just trickles.
Personal interactions, like actually I don't say personal. I would say personal. Personal interactions with people make folks cold. Yeah. Make folks cold-hearted, whether it be with their parents or some other family member that might have done them wrong. Then it turns into your romantic relationships, and it gradually increases the older you get, to the point where you just like throw your hands up and you just say, man, fuck you, I don't care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just fuck, because what I'm gonna do now, like, is what next? You know what I'm saying? Because some people really feel like what's the worst that can happen?
Bruh, I posted a video. I don't know if you've seen that, the one I reposted on Instagram with dude, but it was like, I done felt every, pain imaginable. Like you can't hurt me no more. You can only just disappoint me. And I'm like, when you get to that point where shit,
man, some niggas not really hurt you.
Only thing you can really do is disappoint me. Like you can't hurt me no matter what you do. Only thing you can do is disappoint me. That's when you gotta be like, damn, like
somebody that stuck your ass.
Yeah.
You feel me? And like, like I said, both sides of the fence. I know I'd have been on it.
I didn't know how to manipulate it. Like normally, I'm gonna be honest, I've never went in just doing the shit, but I had some situations where you actually have that talk with that person, because I've done some healing with people, like actually had that closure and talked about shit, and like damn, I didn't see it like that. I had those, but I've never like knowingly just went in and be like, I'm gonna fuck over somebody, I'm gonna play with you.
Right.
Like, it was always
and like, then you talk to them and it's like, damn.
Yeah, you look back and like, damn, okay, that's fair. Like
right. It was like, well, maybe you know what, you might be on to something. You feel me? Because sometimes, we don't think nothing of it because it's so common. Because it's been something that's been done over and over and over again, and you looked at it so much that it's become normal, or to the point where you just like, I don't care, everybody, I'm finna get my leg back on everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everybody finna feel it. And whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't spell me none. You feel me? That's what they tell you, huh? Nigga ain't spell mine.
What Boosie said at 14, wait a minute, I got my heart broke at 14. That was way, way back. So all the girls after that, it was straight payback.
Payback. That's it.
That's crazy. Do you think it's avoidable? Like, you think you can, is it possible to actually recognize it and avoid it?
I think with time and experience, yes, but up front, no. Just because you're naive, like the younger you are, the more naive you are, the more less aware of the world around you. You're not paying attention as much. You feel me? You think the world works your one way, and you haven't lived long enough to experience any other type of way or any other type of form that shit comes in. You feel me? So I don't think it's something you can avoid. I think it's something you can prepare people for. But it comes in so many different forms and fashions. Sometimes you don't even know what it look like, because it took for me to become an adult to figure out. I didn't even know what gaslighting was till like 2 years ago.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's something people do every day. You know what I'm saying?
Enlighten me on what gaslighting is.
I don't know. So gaslighting is like, how can I say it? So if you say you and your old lady, for example, right? And you and your old lady, she talking to you, she tells you that you have to go somewhere with her, right? Mm. But it's not somewhere that you want to go, but you gonna go. All right. And she lets you know when, she lets you know the date and time and all of that, and you agree and y'all talk about it and all of that. The time comes, right? And now you playing, like, in your head that you had something to do today, but to her, you telling her, baby, I don't know, I forgot. I'm not sure. I don't remember talking about that or whatever. So now she kind of feeling like, man, what the fuck? Like, I thought we talked about this. You said yeah, or whatever. So but you're doing it to the point where you really making her reconsider and really make her rethink if y'all talk about it or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so you got what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. It's like, I think that's the simplest way I could explain it, but it's kind of like
making someone second guess themselves.
Yeah, make you feel like you're crazy, bro. Like
knowingly, making them, second guess themselves. Like, I'm gonna play with
it. Or another form of it is you may react to something. Not saying that you're abusive, by the way, but you may slap the shit out of somebody. Like, you feel me? Like,
baby pop.
And then, like, while she on the ground crying or whatever, she having her moment, you made me do this. This your fault.
Yeah, okay.
So placing the blame on somebody else when it was really on you because you didn't have to hit her in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So making her take responsibility for you putting your hands on her. You feel me? That's another form of gaslighting. You know what I'm saying?
I just learned something, dude.
Man, it's crazy, bro, because I just learned it like 2 years ago.
I just learned it a couple of seconds ago.
You feel me? I just learned about it 2 years ago, man, and it's something that you see every day, but you don't think nothing of it because it's so normal. It's something that you saw growing up with people who are older than you, with people in your peer group, and so then by the time you kind of just like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. You feel me? Like, this, it's your fault. Like, you made me mad, right? And so however I react is on you. Just because you pissed me off. So instead of accepting the type of self-control that you're supposed to have in those types of situations, only a few, or it's like, okay, do what you gotta do. But people be crashing out over words. People be crashing over shit that's over comment sections, like little small insignificant shit that won't matter next week. Because we get so much information, we do so much in real time. Everything moves at such a rapid pace. Like just last week, we were talking about what was it? We were just talking about I don't know. See my point? Everything moves so fast. But this week we talking about Kwame Brown Okay, just I'm talking about the Joe Budden thing. We talking about Budden last week, and now we talking about the Kwame Brown.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about Joe. That's why I was like,
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like not me and you, but I'm saying like as a collective.
No, I'm talking in general. Yeah, like that's just how much shit goes on. Like
right.
A minute we talking about this Derrick Jackson.
Right.
Now we off
facts. You got NBA playoffs started. You feel me? So since we get so much information in, it's like people forget about it. But people have so much pride, so much ego, so much. I have to win. I gotta win this. I can't let them play me like that. I can't let them play in my face. I can't let them get that or whatever, to the point where you respond, you react, and then you crashed out.
And you crash out where you can't come back from it. Like it's
when you can't crash, like when you can't come back from it, bro. When you do something you cannot recover from, bro. That's it. You feel me? Sure. And sometimes, bro, like you watch people crash out, bro, and it be over nothing. Insignificant shit. Nigga look at you funny in the club. Now you want to take his life. Like for what? But all in all, man, at the end of the day, you just gotta not fall for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the life lessons that you get, take that experience and run with it. You feel me? And look for the signs. You know what I'm saying? Because still, everybody doesn't have your best interest. No. Like, nah, everybody don't have your best interest.
It's sad to say that you gotta move that way, that you can't just, give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But you have to move that way. You have to be very cautious with, who you give your time to, who you give your energy to. Like, you just gotta be cautious with everything, people, because a lot of people are fucked up. And a lot of times they not fucked up just they were just born that way. Like, something happened to them. It just trickles down.
Life makes people hard. Yeah. Life makes people hard. Life makes people angry, makes people bitter. But at the end of the day, it just depends on, how you react to certain situations that's thrown in front of you. It can make you better or it can make you better. And it just depends on what you want to pick. Because at the end of the day, like regardless of what people say, you are player one. You are in control. So the shit that you want to change, you have the power to change if you take the necessary steps to do so. As far as if you might need to go to therapy, you might need to see somebody, you might need to get some help. Acknowledging that is a step into getting better. You have to know that for yourself. You have to be aware of that. It might be you might not mentally be where you need to be in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Not saying there's something wrong with you or that you're crazy or that you throw, but you know what I'm saying? Life be whooping people ass, bro. And I think about one thing about us and our generation, we kind of open up and we talk about that a little bit more than in the past. We talk about how things make us feel, how shit hurt our feelings, and we able to express ourselves a little bit more in depth than our parents and our grandparents did. Now, our children is going to be completely different for them. I feel like that'll be the generation to where you really get those good conversations and you get to nip shit in the bud while people are young. Because all it is people not getting the attention and the love the love too. The attention, the love, and the resources they need as children. You know what I'm saying? To help them out. So you kind of just brush it off, and then people become adults. And then they realize that they've held on to all this trauma and shit for decades. And it shows up in their adult life as far as their work habits, as far as dream chasing, as far as their romantic relationships, all because of how they were treated while they were younger. So I think our children will be the generation that's like, okay, this happened to me, but I'm going to go do X, Y, Z because this is available to me. Because, they have a little bit more, I guess you would say the resources a little bit more available for them at their younger age than it was for us as teenagers. You feel me? Because it was kind of like figured out. Sorry, life sucks. You feel me? It was like figured out. Life sucks. It is what it is. Sorry.
Right.
But I think for them, they get those conversations because like you can go down and talk to your counselor, and you and your counselor can develop a relationship, and y'all can run it, and then you can get plugged into the things that you need.
Not even just that, not even just those resources, just us as just our generation. Like we recognize the shit that we went through and what we witnessed and what was instilled in us is bullshit. Like we recognize like, nah, this shit gotta end. Like that's why so many, I hate to go off subject real quick, but that's why so many fathers right now, black men, like actually stepping up, take care of their kids. Like that shit is at an all-time high. Like
for real, big facts. That narrative is dead, bro. Because niggas is taking care of their kids. Like you might have your occasional cat or two that's just like hell with it. I ain't doing that. That's on you. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you got a lot more black men that are stepping up and taking care of their kids because you have a generation of black men that didn't have fathers around. Whether the father just was non-existent, the father was incarcerated, passed away early. You have a generation from that was born from the 80s to the 90s. You know, that was missing from our communities, that black man. So now it's a little different because you got cats like you know what I'm saying, and other folks that we know that really did like don't even think twice about doing it. They just handle their business as fathers. Mm-hmm. You know, and as much people want to say is, oh, niggas do this and niggas don't do that. Niggas don't be taking care of their kids. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, black men are stepping up to the plate, and studies show that out of any demographic, as far as color, race.
I was just about to say that.
Bro,
they have stats, graphs, everything.
You feel me? Where
we are surpassing our counterparts. You feel me? Like
everybody. So the whole black man is a deadbeat thing is a myth. And it's not actually, it's a myth, one, but two, you have to take into account of the war on crime, the war on drugs, all of that, and how that affected people's households as well. Right. You got people who lost their fathers to gang violence, or who lost their fathers because they was hustling in the streets, and they got sent away 20 years for selling an ounce of weed back in 93 or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
With the opioids, son, they get treatments for that, but back in the gap, you was on that rock, that you
weren't getting it.
You was a criminal, and you didn't get help. You was a criminal.
It wasn't a help. They treated the crack epidemic like a crime issue instead of a public health issue, because crack really was supposed to be taken exactly how the opioid
man, we about to get off topic because I don't right now. What?
We'll be here all day. We'll be here all day. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, good talk.
Good talk. So
hopefully they help somebody out, man. At the end of the day, if you didn't say it and they put it in your mouth, put the bookmark right up, bro, and revisit the conversation and make sure that person understood what you're saying, and make sure that person so there's no confusion. Because to get somewhere and to get some results, you gotta have some accurate information in front. So if somebody talking lies and saying, well, this happened because that's what they thinking in their head, all right, be mindful. That's a manipulation tactic. You feel me? Just pay attention to that. And pay attention to some of the other signs and shit. Passive aggressive behavior, the gaslight, trying to make you feel like, you said this and you ain't really say that. Or that when you talk to somebody and you had a full conversation, they try to act like they forgot. It's a form of it. So just be mindful, G.
Yeah, shout out to my job I did on Sunday. They just hit me up, said I'm getting paid, nigga. So yeah. Shout out to them.
Man, what did you do this weekend, bro?
I didn't do much this weekend, bro.
Tell the people at home what you did, man.
You talking about the game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was one of the crew for the NCAA Division I championship. So Sam Houston and South Dakota State, they played out here in Frisco. That's actually where they have their championship. I didn't even know that. That's where they have that. That's where they had the Division I championship games every year. So yeah, it was an experience.
Frisco. I didn't know that shit.
Yeah. That's where they had their games. That this is it was an experience, bro. Because I'd never been to like a college, like a live college football game, ESPN and all that. Like that was an experience, bro. Like I hate to say this, son, but it really is like when it comes to football and just the fan base, it is definitely a difference between HBCU and the PWI, bro. Like it's like
I think
I'm not gonna say a HBCU ain't we not proud of our football team, but it's a little more intense.
Fuck that game.
Nah, for real though.
Fuck that game. I know what you're talking about.
For real.
Yeah.
Like,
some people be like, man, fuck that game. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that year Grambling was losing. I think I might have went to like the first couple. After that, I ain't go no more.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I'll watch out on TV. But I think this year though, coming up, this football season coming up for Graham, bro, or any HBCU that's having a real live football season this year, I think they're gonna pack it out. I think because I think people took that for granted for what it was. Sporting events, any type of public gatherings, people took it for granted before the pandemic. So I think now people gonna, take advantage of it and just be like, man, we're gonna get outside. Because after being in the house for so long, bro, that shit boring.
I'm gonna be real with you, son. The format that we got right now, I think they should really separate the FBS and the FCS season. Like the FCS seasons have that in the spring, and the FBS have that in the fall. I feel like the HBCUs got more exposure because they did play in the spring.
Right.
They got way more exposure. They got way more TV time.
Yeah. The thing about that is though, is you gotta the draft. But you talk about your guys getting drafted out them schools too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they still get their chance, son. Then you gotta think about it, bro. They get
because we didn't have nobody that got drafted from an HBCU this year.
That's because we played in the spring. But now they get a whole nother chance. Like they get more time to actually just, get their bodies right and recuperate. You feel me? And, they get more time to work out and train. Like, I don't know. I just think that it was HBCU. I think HBCU football actually benefit from doing it in the
it was on TV a lot more. And you know who else is on TV a lot more too?
And when you get on TV a lot more, your draft stock rise up. You feel me? Like they actually can see your games. Yeah.
And you get more of that bread coming in. Right. But the WNBA too. The WNBA starting, they I don't know what they did as far as their marketing scheme for this upcoming season, but they starting to play to their strengths. And so you're starting to see the WNBA a lot more. You're starting to see the girls a lot more, who they are, who they play for. You get to see they pregame, they pregame dress or whatever, whatever they got going on. Like you're getting more personal with the girls. Because back in the day when you watch WNBA ball, it was like you had the few top 10 names and it was kind of everybody else. You had your girls who were some real dogs. Yeah. And then you had everybody else who they really didn't put the camera on, who they really didn't get the show. Not to say that they went bad or they didn't have the talent, but they didn't get that love and that camera time. And I think now, because one, people are speaking of, two, but on top of that, they changed their marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna put you on. We're gonna offer a league pass that's gonna cost you $17 and you can watch all our games. You know what I'm saying? You can watch all our games for $17, $18, whatever. We're gonna use these Twitters, these Instagrams, put the girls out there, even the ones that are really attractive. You feel me? You got some ones who you got some girls who look good. So it's like, okay, we all know that people like to look at a good looking woman. So let's look, she's an athlete, yes, but she also is attractive too. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and show that to the world as well. And let's get a little bit more personal. So shout out to the WNBA. Shout out to the Aces. Upcoming world champs.
So yeah though, man. Good talk again. Hopefully someone is able to, get something out of this. I able to actually recognize those signs when, you are possibly being manipulated.
Don't fall for the Okie Doke.
Don't fall for the Okie Doke.
And the game greasy.
Don't fall for the pump fake.
Where?
Shit. But definitely make sure you guys are subscribing. I gotta put that out there. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the YouTube channel, man. We are not
Yeah.
stopping, bro. We're finna
Ring that little bell at the bottom, man.
man on the real, bro. We finna
Ring that bell at the bottom, man.
we got some
Turn
shit
on the notifications.
for real. We got some shit coming.
Subscribe. Show some love.
Yeah.
Brooklyn way.
Merch coming soon too. Believe that. Merch is coming soon. On gang. On gang. But nah, though,
Gang,
man. We finna go and get up out this thing, man.
For real, man. We finna go to bed, man.
Nah, for real. That nigga tired.
Niggas tired.
What we tell the people every night, bro.
Man, niggas tired, but you better not let a hoe outdo you. I can tell you that much.
Don't you let that hoe outdo you.
You let that hoe outdo you.
Uncle Mike said, don't let the hoe outdo you.
And that's it. Y'all be easy.